What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome into Near Falls with D Hall, a wrestling podcast, episode number 71. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about and with a bunch of different college coaches from across the area at the Division 1, 2, and 3 level. Super excited to release this, guys. It's been a lot of work, a lot of fun talking to all these different coaches from around the area. Super excited to get into it. But if you haven't already, go back, check out my long form interviews that I released this summer. Joe Marcara, Mackenzie McGuire, Ty McGeary, and just recently Rob Walker, who I just sat down with, episode number 70. That was a lot of fun. Go back and check out those long form episodes. I really enjoyed having those guys over. And coaches, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, taking time out of your busy schedule this time of year. I know it's a lot, sitting down and talking about your squad. But yeah, man, a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy this edition of the NCAA preview, brought to you by Switch Custom Apparel. Okay, joining me next on the call, newly minted head coach of Seton Hill University, my good buddy, Vince DiAugustine. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Good to see you. Good to talk to you. I'm excited.
Oh man, I'm real pumped up. Whenever I saw that you made the jump over to the college ranks, I was surprised. I know that Hempfield was a home for you and that you loved it there. But talk about that transition and talk about that decision.
Yeah, I think for me it was just one of those. It's probably the only position collegiately that I would have left Hemphill for, and it happened to open at the right time, and with the blessing of my family, decided to give it a go and see what happens. But it's been really good. It's been really exciting. It was tough to leave some of the guys at Hempfield, and obviously, I spent 16 years there, so it's tough to go, but at the end of the day, everybody was pretty supportive of me leaving and having the opportunity to coach at the college level.
For sure, for sure. All right, what's it been like taking over this college program? What's it like the off season? How's it been getting your feet wet with these guys?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, we started. I think I got in there August 8th, but we really couldn't do much till school started. So we when we got in there, we struggled for a while. We struggled changing the culture a little bit, and we had some guys try to fight us a little bit. But ultimately, right now where we're at, we're pretty thankful. We're excited for what we're building there. We hit the ground running with some recruits. We had a really good tailgate a couple weeks ago for one of the football games. We had 10 recruits in, and the kids are working hard. If you saw the kid, like the practice we had today versus the practice when we first got there, it's night and day, and we still have tons of work to do, but we're extremely excited of how far we've come so far.
All right, so you have a new roster, a new group of guys, completely different process. But who are some of the leaders that you have identified, or have you identified any leaders this early in the process?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple guys that have really stood out. Will Burgess is a leader, a guy who was, he was active in the interview process. They had some of the kids involved in that, and he was active. Riley O'Mara is another leader. Cal Burkholder. Those guys just come in, put their head down, and go to work, and they do the same thing outside the room, which is I think these guys are leaders, as potentially captains of the team, which is an extension of the coaching staff, and those are the kind of guys that we need. So we're excited about having them on the team, and they're doing a really good job of being leaders. There's some other guys that I think will progressively step up. But those guys are three of the guys that I would identify at this point.
You touched on your coaching stuff a little bit there. What does that look like for you?
So I got the Shaws, brought the Shaws over.
Let's go. The Shaw boys are coming. Sure. Come on.
Yeah, so they're there. Josh Testa, who was an alum of Seton Hill, and Jake Temple's been in and out. The Avella grad.
Of course.
We're excited about our staff. We think we have something to offer for every kid, and we'll continue to grow that staff as we continue to grow as a team and a program.
Good stuff. Okay, early on in the process, but what are some of the goals and expectations you have for this squad?
We want to compete hard. I mean, that's just basically, and none of that really changes from the philosophy at the high school level, right? So you come in and you put your head down and you grind it out through practice, and that eventually, I mean, that essentially is the hardest part of wrestling is the workouts. The matches themselves should be the easy part. So, we come in and again, we're trying to change the culture a little bit when it comes to the practice, the intensity, not fighting and scrapping for every point. I mean, that kind of stuff, you just can't give up takedowns, give up escapes, let people turn you. And when we change that, I think that we can do some really, really good things on the mat. And hopefully that's second nature to these guys. And that's what we're looking for. So as far as expectations, again, it's just going out and competing hard for 7 minutes and making sure that, the PSAC and any team we're wrestling is just well aware that when they wrestle Seton Hill, we're ready to go.
Good stuff. Okay. So what does your schedule look like? And as you take over this program, how are you trying to build these guys to kind of get ready for the end of the season?
Yeah, this would be a part that's really different for me. We start off we start off with our Crimson and Gold match October 24th, and that's really, I think we'll have some good wrestle offs there.
So are you guys gonna do in front of a crowd and all that?
We are, yeah. It's a Tuesday night, 7:30, at the McKenna Center. So we're excited about that. We're excited to show off what we've done in the practice room so far, and I think there's going to be some really competitive matches. And the ones that aren't competitive, as far as if we don't have a wrestle off, so to speak, at one of the matches, then we're going to try to make sure that we can get them up against somebody that, if somebody else doesn't have a wrestle off, just to see a good match. So we start with that October 24th, but our first, November 1st, we shuffle on up to Buffalo and wrestle some, my buddy Stutzman up there and wrestle some Division I action. I think we wrestled Jamestown and another school up there. Can't remember which one, but we have a tri-meet up there. So that's November 1st. And then, the one thing that's a little bit different is it's really light in December 16th, 17th. We have the Midwest Classic, and that's it for December. And again, there's some rules, when you have finals, you can't compete and stuff like that. So there's some adapting for me. But the way that we're kind of looking at training is kind of two different seasons, right? You have the beginning of the season you want to make sure we're peaking and compete at a high level for the Midwest Classic, kind of get a little break there and then gear up for season number 2 and make sure the guys are peaking for the postseason.
Yeah, I hear good things about that Midwest Classic. A few coaches have talked about it already.
Yeah, it seems like
it's the hammer, right?
Yeah, for sure. It seems like it's the maybe the Powerade, that type of tournament for the high school. I mean, it's easy for these guys to kind of tell me, compare it to a high school schedule, and a lot of guys. And I do want to say that all the coaches in the PSAC have been awesome to me. They've been, Coach McCoy reached out. Coach Whaler at Mercyhurst, reach out, anything you need. Those guys are awesome. So I'm excited about that. So I'm excited to obviously compete in that conference and compete against guys like that.
All right. So before we get into kind of like the streaming and all that, any freshmen catching your eye?
Yeah, I tell you. So Hyrack's considered, Christian Hyrack, a Derry kid, he did not compete last year, so he's a redshirt freshman. I really like him, and I also like Colin Hearn, kid from Conneaut. Okay. So those guys are tough, and there's some other ones that are in there as well. But I'm really excited to see them compete and hopefully develop them into a solid collegiate wrestler.
All right. So, any streaming options for you guys?
Streaming options. I'm not. I mean, are you asking? What are we streaming?
Yeah, like, are you guys going to be available to watch like dual meets and stuff?
For sure. Yeah. So I know the Crimson and Gold match will be on the Westmoreland Sports Network, I believe.
There we go. That's the plug I was looking for. Come on. Sure.
Yeah, those guys are, and I don't know exactly to what, how many they're doing, but I would imagine they do most of our home matches. So I'm extremely excited about that opportunity to be there.
Love that. You're fine.
You good?
Yeah. Of course.
Say hi real quick.
Hi.
All right. Hi. I'm in the zone here.
In the zone.
Let's go.
All right, brother. Last question I have for you.
You got it.
Anyone or anything you want to shout out before we leave you go?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously, my family for allowing me the opportunity to coach college. I mean, I don't want to say it's been a dream of mine, but the opportunity to coach collegiately, own a business, be on the school board, and also have 3 kids is a tremendous task. And obviously, I'd like to shout out to them. Shout out to my wife and our kids and my mom and dad and all them, just for the opportunity to be able to do this. Extremely excited, grateful for the opportunity. Shout out to the kids at Seton Hill because they've welcomed me. They've been really, really good. And also, Brandon Rapp at our athletic director at Henfield has been really supportive in me doing this and has gave me his blessing when I told him that it was something I wanted to do. So I appreciate everybody and that has supported me.
Good stuff. Good stuff as always. Vinny D, class act, the man. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Later.